So what I'm talking about is confirming the removal of the distortion pattern that is causing whatever issue that you're having. Okay, or so now this may be very practiced for some of you who are doing this. However, it is such a fundamental tool that we often forget about, that it's important, in my opinion, when we are becoming masters of our frequency bandwidth, that is us, to review the basics. The better you become at the basics, the better mastery you have. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. And for those of you who are newer, you don't know what this is. Okay, so that's why we're talking about it for you guys. So for everybody, I believe that we can learn something from this, and we're probably going to discuss it in ways that you may not have heard before. So that is what we're talking about today. We're talking about confirming the removal of the distortion pattern and why it's so powerful.
So the first thing is, Karen, do I know that moment when I truly have released that distortion pattern so that I can confirm the release? I mean,
yeah.
I logistically, I hear what you're saying, and I can sense how important it is for that confirmation, but what is that point in time where, I confirm that I release that?
So before I get to the logistics of your question, I'm going to back up out of it. Okay, and I will answer it, but I just want to back up and explain to you what's happening. So for some of you, this will be review, and for some of you, this will be brand new. But I just want to explain this to give you context about why this tool is so important. So as you may or may not know, when you do frequency work, whether it's an individual frequency calibration or a GFC or a deep dive or a class or whatnot, any kind of frequency work, what I'm doing is I'm removing the distortion pattern on spirit level. Okay, which is, of course, much higher in vibration than the denser levels of the physical, mental, emotional bodies. Okay, which are, of course, because you're embodied, vibrating at a much lower resonance. So what I do when we're working together in those situations of the IFC, GFC, etc., is that I delete them out of the field that is not the embodiment, okay, in terms of the denser field. The reason confirming the removal is so important, just to rephrase, confirming the removal of the distortion pattern is so important, is because you have free will. So in order for you to completely remove it out of your field, okay, at least that layer that we're addressing, you personally need to confirm the removal of that pattern out of the physical denser fields, meaning the physical, mental, emotional realm. Okay, because that then, again, it's an exercise of free will. So you're saying, I don't want that pattern. It doesn't exist for me. I'm deleting it. Okay, so basically you are changing your rendering. All right, and so I'll talk about what the rendering is in a little bit. All right, so you're changing the how you render the version of yourself and your reality by deleting that out of the lower resonating realm.